Right, show. My name is Kizzy K. Good morning, beautiful Lagos City and beyond. This is the best place you need to be. Let's talk about sports. First of all, with Obioma in the news, Obioma wins Unisal boot as 2022-23 MPFL top scorer, and he's a player for but this sounds very good. So you need to know, Unisal Limited, sponsored of the prestigious Unisal boot for the highest goal scorers in the Nigerian Premier Football League (MPFL), has announced Eyimba's Chukwuemeka Obioma as winner of the award. Obioma scored 16 goals to emerge as highest goal scorer. Concluded 2022-2023 Nigerian Premier Football League season. He will receive 3.2 million naira as well as imposing Unisal boot. Unisal, West Africa's largest independent chemical as well as oil and gas engineering solution company, conceives the Unisal boot award is still instilling greatness in players in domestic top flight and celebrate their success story. Talking about Obioma now, he becomes the 8th player to win the imposing Unisal boot as confirmation of his goal-scoring prowess. Unisal placed a premium value of 200,000 naira for each goal scored by the top scorer. Group Management Director of Unisal, Chika Ikenga, applauded Obioma for his form during the season. Our passion for Nigerian football and players' achievement is evident with our sponsorship of the Unisal boot. We are excited that players look forward to winning this award. Obioma's story is worthy of celebration as he made goal scoring look like an easy task with 2 or more goals in a game 2 years ago. Back in 2021, he was unable to win the award despite scoring double digits. It's no surprise that his goal also contributed to the success of Eyimba, he said. Clearly the poster boy of last season, Obioma will be decorated as a date and venue to be announced by Unisal. So let me say congratulations to this guy, Obioma, who wins the Unisal boot top scorer award. But moving on quickly on the show, as it's transfer news, Victor Osimhen, everybody knows, has been in the news, and now Obafemi Martins, Koulibaly of Al Hilal right now has won Victor Osimhen on a transfer move, saying he should be very careful. And you know, this guy's played in the Italian league as well. Talk about Koulibaly, 8 years with Napoli, and Victor Osimhen also currently plays for Napoli. Then Obafemi Martins also plays for Inter Milan. Obagoal, his son, is currently playing for Monza in the Italian outfit. So you know, these guys know the club very well. But now, big advice coming from Obagoal, Koulibaly, wanting Osimhen on a transfer move. And let's just get into the story. Former Super Eagles striker Obafemi Martins has won Manchester City, Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich and Chelsea target Victor Osimhen to be cautious before making a decision on his next career projection. In the same vein, Senegal captain Koulibaly has advised the forward, saying he should also be very careful in determining his future. Osimhen's future has become a talking point in the transfer window as he has been linked with the European giants Manchester United, Chelsea and Paris Saint-Germain. He was one of the leading marksmen in European football last season with 26 goals in the Serie A to emerge top scorer and eventually broke the goal scoring record of 1995 African and World Footballer of the Year George Oponwere. Obagoal, who also was a guest to the on one of our sister stations where Ifeanyi Udeze was the host anchoring him, has come to warn the informed star to consider a stay in the Serie A rather than going abroad. Osimhen has really done well in Italy, and for you to play in the Serie A and score a lot of goals, you must be special. Speaking further of the best club that suits Osimhen in his game among the suitors, Martin stated that he has proven his mettle and should not be in a hurry to leave the Italian champions. All the major leagues in Europe are looking to sign him, and he has shown everyone his qualities as a striker. He has broken Were's record and also my own record in the Champions League. We don't even know the number of goals that he will score next season, and he can do it. You don't know, and you know it's very difficult to play the Serie A as a black man. So it's huge respect to break those records. And on the side of caution, I would suggest that he stays in Napoli at least one more season, Martin stated. And for Koulibaly, he said Osimhen must determine his future independently to avoid regret. So big advice coming from Victor Osimhen. Everybody trying to say, yes, do it right. But this is just what it is. This is the point where it comes that a man has to take a decision. Sometimes in life, you need to have people around you that governs you, that guides you through. And at the moment right now, Victor Osimhen, 26 goals, winning the Scudetto. 1990 was the last time they got it. 33 years record broken. You know, some players, I feel so bad for some players who actually, you know, struggles for days. You know, the likes of Insigne, the likes of Koulibaly. But these ones are not to be talked about now, because at the moment you should be talking about Meret, you should be talking about Ankesa Sambo, you should talk about the Victor Osimhen, wonderful team they have. You should talk about these guys, the manager Luciano Spalletti, who has left the club. And when you look at this team, Deme, I love the way they play. They look very hungry, Zelensky, but at the moment Victor Osimhen needs to be very careful and also conscious of saying yes to any of this club. It's a mega money coming from Paris Saint-Germain. And for the guys who I'm talking about, for the men, the likes of Obafemi Martins and Koulibaly, saying he should be careful. This is the point where he might take a step that can haunt him for life. This is the time where he might take a step that might, he might regret in the future. And this is the time he might also take a step that will change his story, regardless of how big it is. We know how his value is. And I'm not also surprised to see Aurelio De Laurentiis, the president of Napoli, saying currently that Victor Osimhen is worth 200 million euro. If you want to sign him, you go get him. And also, I'm not surprised that they're trying to cash out with Osimhen this time around. But Osimhen, for me, I would say I wish him all the very best. In taking decisions, you just have to, do it right. So he don't end up getting it wrong. But still in transfer news, I got this now. Rabiot snubs Manchester United, extend Juventus deal. And Sissoko said it's a win-win, actually. Adam Rabiot has ended speculation over his future to sign the new contract with Juventus after his proposed move to the Theatre of Dreams was blocked last year. He shone for Juventus during the 22-23 season. In spite of his uncertainty contract situation, Juve confirmed that the player has signed a one-year deal contract to see him end of the 23-24 season, ending Manchester United hopes of a deal for the time being. But the future beyond next summer remains uncertain. The former Paris Saint-Germain midfielder shared and starred in the Bianconeri's midfield last time, coming up with 11 goals and 6 assists from 48 matches across all competitions. The Frenchman was also initially expected to leave the old ladies following his expiration of his contract with Manchester United, his possible destination. United tried and failed to sign Rabiot in the summer of 2022, striking a deal over a fee with Juventus, but failed to agree personal terms with the players' camp. So Rabiot again has said no to the Italian, it's a yes for the Italian side, but a no for every other club. It's not the first time we've seen Man United come to say they want to sign, Arjan Rabiot. I love his left foot. I love the way he moves the ball. I love the way he makes drive in the middle of the park. I love the way he gains, confidence and possession of the ball. His mom the other time said no, he's not going to make a move from the Juventus side to Manchester United. And now again, Manchester United are coming again for him. I could say this is the second time this bid is being rejected. But 1 year deal, it means hopefully there's still here and there's still space for United to get to sign him. But the question is, will he be the way he is right now? Because Adrian Rabiot, talk about last season, was so good. But I don't know if I'm a fan of what he did, because right now there's a speculation that says UEFA likely to ban Juventus from European tournament, and they might not be in the Conference League, and they are also out with the ban that got Fabio Paratici and the rest of them with financial irregularities. So with this now, if he stays back with the club, I think it's about his personal terms, about this camp. But for Manchester United, I think I should say I'm sorry about that. Moving on, let's talk about tennis. Wimbledon decision to relax all white clothing rule was a big relief for female players, and her name is Toto Golf. She said, I really support it a lot. It's a big relief. I was on my period last year during the Wimbledon, and it was very stressful. It's going to relieve a lot of stress for me and other girls in the locker room. Wimbledon organizers announced back in November that female competitors would not be permitted to wear dark undershirts and relieve a potential source of anxiety where they have their periods. All players were previously banned from wearing colored underwear since 2014 as part of the Wimbledon all-white clothing policy, following criticism from former champion Billie Jean King and Jordan Murray. The rules were changed. Speaking according to reports, American teenager Obagoal talked about the impact such a change will have. I really support it a lot. It's going to be a big relief, Goff said. I was on my period last year at Wimbledon, and it was very stressful. I mean, you have to, you have the period underwear and stuff to help you, but this is a welcome development, she said. She said, I was supposed to use the bathroom, but I would go to the bathroom just to check and make sure nothing was showing. So I think it's going to be a lot of big relief of stress for me and other girls in the locker room for sure. I'm looking forward to that decision in the future and how it affects other players in general. And I think it's very nice that this discussion has been talked about. It's something I talked about last year during the actual tournament when the topic first got brought up, and now I'm happy that the decision has been made. It will be a lot a lot less stressful for us. At just 19, you need to know Goff, who is preparing for Wimbledon off, is back on a last 8 appearance at the 2023 French Open, the tournament where she reached her first Grand Slam quarterfinal in 2021. She made the French Open last year, as well as the US Open quarterfinals, and her performances have regularly caught the attention of famous American actors such as Samuel L. Jackson. It's something that Goff says she still struggles to comprehend. I've been able to enjoy it a lot. It's still a very surreal to me. Certain aspects and certain people of our celebrities kind of know who I am, and she said. So that's about this lady. And she's still young, 19 years. Looking at her achievement and what she's brought over time, you say you would know that she is ready to go. I wish her all the best. But I think on that implementation, you might not know what she's talking about, what she's going through. I think the ladies actually know. But her talking about this, I want to believe that she's speaking for the ladies, because you could hear her say more of the time, I feel like people go to the bathroom to go check themselves, or maybe go do something, do the needful, but I go there to check and see if there's nothing coming out. And so if this happens to be possible, then it will be a very good one for them. But moving on from that story, let's get to talk about this one. Lopez extends career at Bayern Day, at least with one emotional Mallorca wins in the Spanish veteran. Moving on that very story, Feliciano Lopez extended her career by at least one more day with emotional victory at the Mallorca Open on Tuesday, the final event of the 26-year-old career. The 41-year-old left-hander was shared on by her friend and compatriot 22-time Grand Slam champion Rafa Nadal during a 6-3, 7-5 victory over Max Purcell. Moving on, Lopez, who reached a career high ranking 12 and holds the record of appearing in 79 successful Grand Slam men's draw, will face Australian Jordan Thompson on Wednesday. It's a really good one for me. It's a special win for me, probably one of the most special wins in my career so far, to be honest, Lopez said, who has more than 500 ATP singles win, said on court at the Sandra Ponza Country Club after his win. This is my expectation to be winning the match at this stage of my career in Mallorca, this beautiful place surrounded by one of the most people I love, my friends. Nadal, who is currently out of action as he tries to recover from injuries, was joined by Carlos Moya in the stands to cheer on the former Davis Cup compatriots. Most of them came for hypothetical last match. Luckily, it wasn't the last match of my life. I have another opportunity tomorrow, and this is very overwhelming, I have to say, Lopez added after his only second ATP Tour win this year. So congratulations to that man. Moving on out on the story, let's talk about Matej Kovacic and Harry Kane. But let's start with Matej Kovacic right now. He has bid a farewell to Chelsea after joining Manchester City, and let's get to know on that deal how it is. But to farewell, we just would not see Matej Kovacic, the Croatian guy, play for Chelsea anymore. He's going to play for Pep Guardiola, and it's a very welcome development to see that Barcelona are doing well with Ilkay Gundogan. Now that's a replacement. Matej Kovacic coming in to stay in that position where Ilkay Gundogan has played for City. So it's like a replacement. But let's get on the story where Matej Kovacic has said, I'm sending a farewell message to Chelsea, and he feels very happy to make that a reality, to see that he is now going to play a full-time game with the Manchester City side. Chelsea departed midfielder Matej Kovacic has written an emotional farewell message to supporters. The Croatian has signed for Man City on a deal that is worth an initial £25 million plus a further £5 million through add-ons. £5 million through add-ons. Kovacic will take the place of Ilkay Gundogan in the squad for manager Pep Guardiola. It's been a great and incredible pleasure for me to play in such a great club and with some of the biggest trophies in the sport. Kovacic wrote on Instagram, Chelsea is a club I've loved very well, and every single second of being a Chelsea fan is really okay for me. It's been a tough 12 months for everyone, and I think we can all agree it hasn't been the usual Chelsea standard, but I've enjoyed my time here in London, coming from Matej Kovacic. So he's sending a farewell message, to Chelsea, that he's not going to be staying anymore with the club, but right now playing for Man City. But wrapping up the show quickly on the show, let's get to talk about this. Harry Kane now. Harry Kane is possibly going to make a move away from the English side, but that if time tell. Don't forget, he's the skipper of the Three Lions, and if you from my view ask me, I would say I'm not really seeing that come to play, but just maybe Daniel Levy is trying to cash out on Harry Kane, and Right now, Tottenham striker Harry Kane is ready to join Bayern Munich if they have a bid accepted by his services. The English captain has previously made it clear he wanted to remain in the Premier League. Moving on, however, according to reports, states that Harry Kane has accepted he may not be able to get a move to another English side. He's now agreed personal terms with Bayern Munich, but the Bavarians must agree to a deal to Spurs. Now, Tottenham are seeking a fee in the region of £100 million for a player who is out of contract in a year's time. And Bayern Munich, meanwhile, has first bid for £60 million rejected by Spurs. So it's more like we want to cash out with Harry Kane. And are we really going to do that? £60 million is actually, I don't want to say small for Harry Kane. He's 29, but I say it all the time, and I'll say it again everywhere I go, that Harry Kane's a guy who can actually give you 20-plus goal every season. He can bang the back of the net. He don't respect any team so long it has to do with goal scoring. But Bayern Munich, seeing Harry Kane moving to the Bavarian to, I think the league is assured. You know, it's more like a ritual now. These guys are winning it back-to-back. But staying in Manchester United or Arsenal or Chelsea will also not do him bad. I understand he's trying to keep a record, you know, to break that record from Alan Shearer. But I think at this point, he needs to take a step that he don't have to consider the club, because I don't know if I would say the club are really not having him in heart, because Daniel Levy now thinks more about the club. But for Harry Kane, it's about personal terms. What would I show, or what would I give to my kids when they ask me what's my achievement over time? But let's get to end the show on this note. But I'll be back again. We would like you to subscribe and engage us on our YouTube page. It's Voice of the People TV, and on all the social media platforms at voptvlive. My name is Kizzy K. Good morning once again. Bye-bye for now.